Consumers are interested in tracking themselves, with the explosion of all these Fitbits and other these wearables where they obsessively track their heart rate, they track their, the number of steps taken and all that. They don't give you any information at the molecular level, about what's in your blood, about what's in your saliva.
Diagnostic is a U of H spinoff, a startup company trying to commercialize rapid medical diagnostic tests using a smartphone as a platform to ultimately enable anybody to test themselves for a whole variety of infectious diseases or medical conditions at their own convenience.
Our core technology is based around these light-emitting nanoparticles that we call nanophosphors. And the idea really goes back to being able to sensitively detect things and have our test be as cheap and easy to use as the pregnancy test, but as accurate as these other lab-based tests that people are developing.
The core technology is inside one of these disposable test cartridges, and this contains our intellectual property, our secret sauce.
So we'd make different types of these cartridges for different diseases. So a user would have to add a drop of liquid sample to this little sample well right here, and then they would have to plug it into their smartphone attachment in this little opening, and then they press a single button on the app, and the app performs the countdown, and then it performs the analysis, and it just provides a result in less than 15 minutes.
I like the idea of creating something new that wasn't available before, something new and different that's really valuable to a whole lot of people, and figuring out how to make it work and get it out there so that people can use it.
I think U of H's proximity to the medical center and this whole ecosystem they're trying to build, and all of that I think comes together in a really nice way, and this is a great time for anybody to start a startup at the University of Houston. Being a PhD student there's not a lot of focus on entrepreneurship or on commercializing your own research. The NSF Innovation Core program is sort of designed for scientists and engineers that want to commercialize their technology but don't know how. So that program was, I would say, instrumental in both in being the initial validation of our technology and market, as well as it played a pivotal role in developing our prototype.
A lot of people are very willing to help give us advice, and that's extremely valuable, particularly our advisor, Dr. Wilson.
He is a co-inventor of Diagnostic's technology, and he's always been encouraging of our entrepreneurial efforts.
This specific work, I had no idea that I would be doing this. It sort of morphed into this project, and it just really took off.
Andrew and I, we always had this idea of doing something that actually might be used by people in the first place, and that's what really drove me to join my advisor's lab, is that the device I was working on at the time could potentially be used to diagnose people with real samples one day.
All the different areas in which chemical engineering is involved, everything from like making better computer chips to making better drugs, like biomolecules as drugs, like things that were unheard of like 30 years ago that we're able to do now. And I like the idea of being a part of that and taking really fundamental science and then developing products that really help make people's lives better.